When starting this project, I had a small idea in mind, and I was inspired by a small game. It's not very known. Yup. I really like the knight's character design, so I wanted my character to be based off the knight's character, so to say. I gave the game a basic background and a character, also a basic attacking animation for the character. It's a bit buggy and spammable right now, but it's just the start, so I can fix it later. I felt the animation was a bit choppy, so I fixed it. I made it a bit faster and added a few more easing frames to help make it look better. And it looks good right now. And the GUI, I added another arrow because you can't just be walking in one direction. Also added an attack button to actually use the sword. So yeah, there isn't anything to slash your sword at right now, but that's gonna be fixed very soon. I really like how Hollow Knight flips the whole darkness bad, light good idea on its head and makes the light the evil side and the darkness the good side. So I felt like making my character all like based on shadows and darkness, but he's actually trying to stop the light creature from something. Anyways, I drew a light ghost spirit thing for the character to attack, but you can't turn around right now, so if one spawns behind you, yeah, you can't get him. Also, the death thing is kind of buggy, so I have to fix that. I mean, what's so hard with making a character turn around? That was annoying. So in Scratch, if you wanna flip a character, there isn't a block that's in the looks menu that is like mirror character or look other direction. Yeah, no, Scratch was like, that's too easy. And if you're asking, hey Dragon, isn't there a turn block? Well, what the turn block does is this. So yeah, there wasn't an easy way to do it, and I had to just take the costume of my character and flip it. Thought it would be harder, but it turned out to be easy and I was overcomplicating it. That's a problem. So because the sword is animated, I can't just flip it like I did with the character. The character is one frame. There isn't any animation for him. So it wasn't that hard for the character. But for the sword, the only way I can think about is reanimating the whole sword on the other direction. And there's no way I'm doing that. I reanimated the whole sword looking in the other direction. Anyways, it's looking fine now, and I added jumps that there was definitely no problems with at all with figuring out the gravity. Nope, no problems whatsoever. So anyways, it's looking good right now. I also added a progress bar that doesn't really work right now. That's for the final game's idea. I'm gonna make it work at the end of the video, but it won't lead to anything. So yeah, I'm glad nothing else is gonna be very annoying. Making the sword not spammable. So unlike my previous game, that game had mana, which was an easy indicator to make the buttons not work. I could just make it, if mana isn't enough, you don't activate this. But there isn't a limit to how many swords you can do, or there isn't a timer. So I just had to check which costume the sword was on, which took me an hour to figure out how to do. And that's how you would do That's how it would check. But wait, there are two costumes the sword could be starting on because it's turned around. So that was very annoying to add in. And yeah, I'm glad that's over. So after I was done with that, the game's shell was mostly done. As you can see, the progress bar is working, kind of. When it hits 100, it stops going up because it's gonna be 100 until it reaches 100% complete. Then it will take you to the next wave. That's my plan, at least. The turning around is fine. You can't spam the sword anymore. You can jump. Trick shot. There was also another problem with jumping. You couldn't slash while jumping, or you would just start flying. It wasn't that hard to deal with. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna make the sword a bit faster next time because it feels a bit choppy. And also, I don't know why there's an extra 5 in the percent gauge. That's probably from testing. I'll fix that later. And finally, you can move left and right now. Also, there's some shake, which I just put as an effect. I don't know if I like it or not. Comment down below if you want me to keep the shaking or not, or maybe just dial it down a bit. So the moving was pretty simple, but because I wanted the game to be for the camera is x-axis to always be on the player, but there isn't a really way to move the camera in Scratch. So instead of making the player move towards the enemies, I just made the enemies move the opposite direction of where the player clicks. So if you click left, the enemies will move right. It looks like you're moving, but it's actually just the enemies moving. I also like doing this thing where I jump before attacking the enemy as a trick shot, kind of. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna end off today's video. I did a good amount of progress. I have a lot of plans for this game, and I feel like it's gonna be finished in 2 to 3 devlogs, most likely 3. So this was the first devlog of Shadows Arise. Thank you for watching. Like, sub, bye.